Well, it's another edition of Jana's Bitch Fest, apparently. It's always something, right? I'm doing a little bit of yoga because the weather is really beautiful out here where I am. I'm pretty close to St. Louis, but still in Illinois. And I'm at a receiver with a load of pet food. And apparently at this receiver, they hold you hostage. So I saw it happen with the guy that was sitting in the door next to mine. And they actually gave me his door number, and I went up to him and I was like, hey, they told me this door. And he was like, I'm still waiting. He's like, the light is still red, but it's like they're done unloading me. So I went in the office and told him, I was like, hey, you gave me this door number, but this guy's still in the door. And they were like, okay, gave me the door next to his. And they got done unloading me a while ago. Like, I could feel that they were done. I'm gonna move this back a little bit. But the light is still red, so I called in the office because I'm a little ways away from it. It's just more efficient to call. And I was like, hey, I'm wondering if they forgot about me or something. Like, it feels like they're done unloading me, but the light is still red. And she's like, oh, they're breaking down the load. So apparently what they do here, which someone at my dispatch said is common at food companies, is they unload your truck and then hold you there while they break down that load. And it's like, dude, I can't wrap my head around how these things happen to drivers, because it's like, I did my part. I got this load here safely. I got it here on time. Well, I was a few minutes late, to be honest with you, but like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, which per usual, I don't even feel bad about because the way that this was planned. Anyway, to just be forced to sit here and watch my clock go down, knowing that this trailer is now empty, but they're keeping me here and I can't grab my paperwork and leave. And I'm running recaps right now, so today I started with only like 9.5 hours total to work with. So I'd really like to get the fuck out of here, you know? And the only positive is because I'm currently in an off-duty status on my DOT clock, the 70-hour clock that I'm working against right now is not ticking down, so that's good. I have like a 2-hour cushion outside of that, so that's cool, but it's just a matter of like, you're wasting my time, and I'm not making enough money to justify you wasting my time like this. This is one of those things in the trucking industry where drivers get fucked and no one defends you. Your company's not defending you because they just do whatever these companies want, their customers, and the customers abuse that constantly, fucking constantly. Yesterday I had a super frustrating situation at a place that it's a General Mills plant, and it's all like, the reviews there are all negative. The people there are not friendly at all from start to finish. And sorry, this feels really good. You should try it sometime. If you're a driver, like, I could do a whole thing about like specific stuff that feels good yoga wise for drivers. Even if you're not like particularly flexible, there's a lot of little things you can do to sort of ease the chronic muscle tension created by being a driver. But at this place, I was supposed to do a drop and hook. Real simple, right? Never simple. Fucking nothing is ever simple. When I went back to the area where the empties were supposed to be, there's a whole row of my company's trailers, probably 8 of them. And then there were 2 down at the far end that were in our app listed as empty, like available. When I went over to those, they both had red tags on them. So I went back over to where there were a couple of yard drivers sitting, and I was like, hey, those, and before I could say anything, he said in the company name, no trailers, no empties. And he's like, we're still waiting for one. And he just was really fucking abrasive. And I thought he was joking because of how abrasive he was. I thought he was just being silly, you know? And I was like, oh, haha, you know. So then I see one of our other drivers come up, and I get him to stop, and I'm like, tell me that's an empty. All right, I got interrupted by a spam call. So I'm trying to ask this guy, this dickhead yard driver, about that row of trailers, and he says that they're waiting for one. Oh yeah. So then I asked the driver of one of our guys who came over, I was like, tell me that's an empty, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, you can drop it right here and I'll grab it. As soon as I hook the kingpin up to it, the yard driver comes over and he's like, they won't let you out the gate with that. They won't. He's like there's already a load on it. And he was such a fucking asshole about it. I was just like, why why are you being like this? Like, we all are kind of in the same boat as working people. Why would you treat a random friendly truck driver like shit? Well, because you're obviously an angry dickhead. Anyway, that was really a stressful, not stressful, but a frustrating situation. So then, of course, I had to go on another goose chase for a trailer. This is a constant problem, and it's one of the reasons why this company is not great, and why I say I'm going to be looking for another job, but here I am filming videos when I could be doing job searches. I think looking for jobs in trucking in itself it's a daunting task, because you just know that there's so much bullshit, and it's one of those things where you're going to get yourself into a situation where you don't know what things about it are shitty until it's too late, and you've already like committed yourself to like doing it or whatever. But some of the things that people say in the comments on my videos, those really are motivating to me. I was just reading a comment talking about, hey, you should look into getting in a dedicated lane, and that's actually what I'm kind of thinking about a lot. Is like, I like the idea of some level of change, but when things are always uncertain, and this job is just an exercise in Murphy's Law. You know what? Every day, the thing, like, you just expect things to go wrong, because now I know. You're not going to have an empty trailer when you have a supposed drop and hook. You get sent to a shipper that holds you hostage. You get sent to places where there's no parking, and like, there's no sympathy for any of that, you know, and there's certainly not enough pay to justify any of it. So at a certain point you say to yourself, well, what's the definition of insanity? And if you answer your own question, then it's time to make a move. Good morning from my favorite place on earth, Chicago, Rogers Park, North Side. I am back for my 34, which is not nearly enough. Haven't had a break. Today is January 14th, Saturday. No, I lied. Today's Sunday. It's the 15th. It's hard to keep track of what day is what. They just fly by. It's like I said in an earlier video, if you guys remember, I was actually on the Walmart account when I made that video, and I said, I asked this older guy who's like disabled truck driver who worked on that account, I was listening. Man, wait, look at this scene. Look at this. How gorgeous is this? Oh, I love it here so much. This is where I want to be all the time. This is my place, man. I overheard a conversation, and he said, a guy asked him how he was doing. He said, life is passing me by. How's your life going? How's it going? Oh, it's passing me by, he said. And it was like I was choked up talking about it, because that's how trucking is. And I had heard my dad talk about it like that before. It's a time machine. It makes the time fly by, and it has a lot to do with the way we experience our life, our sense of self in relationship to where we are, physically, what's around us, who is around us. And when you're isolated in a metal box almost every hour of the day, it has a weird effect on your psychology. I would love to see someone study that. I think they have. It's called prison. I laugh, but it's not that funny, man. It's not. And I don't know. I know I waver. I know I go back and forth. I just want you to see this pretty backdrop. But every time I come back to Chicago, especially when I've been away for a time, this is my first day off since, my first real day off since Christmas. Every time I come back, I just don't want to leave. I just want to be like, let me get a local job. Let me get another apartment back in Chicago. I love it here so much, and I feel like myself here. And I am really, really struggling with the physical impact of all the hours of sitting. And on that note, I just want to say, okay, couple things. One is, it's very, very difficult to take breaks on this job. On this account, now that I'm back on the Midwest account, I can take a 34 every week. And I think maybe I should start doing that for my sanity. And before I was like, I like running recaps because then I don't have as many 14-hour days, but it actually ends up being more stressful because then my time is too limited. So I think I want to start doing 34s every week, just so I can get out of the truck for a full day, get things done, see friends, maybe come into the city, and come here because I'm about to take a dunk in the lake. It's a little bit choppy out there today, but that's okay. Oh, I was going to say, you know, my dad actually just had his first hip replacement yesterday. It went well. He's doing well. He's a beast, man. That guy, he takes a licking and keeps on ticking. He's put his body through so much in his life, and I trust that he's going to be fine. And then he's getting the other hip done in a couple of months, and that is the long-term impact of sitting in a truck for years and years, is being fucking disabled, okay? And I feel like I'm losing my mind being in that truck as much as I am. That's why I tried to do flatbed initially, because I need physical activity. It is just who I am. So I need to figure some shit out. The other thing I was going to tell you guys is back when it's very hard to take any downtime in trucking, as most people know, especially if you're on some type of an over-the-road account. I don't know if you guys remember, my mom broke her wrist earlier this year, and it was really bad. She fell, and she has some brittle bone action happening because she's a little bit older, and her broken wrist was severe, and they couldn't operate on it for over a week, or like a week. It was a very excruciating ordeal for her, and it was horrible for me. And when that happened, I wanted to go down to see her. She lives down south, and I couldn't really, because it was money was part of it, but also the company told me that if I took more than 48 hours to go see my mom, they would give someone else my truck. Yeah, that's the kind of shit they do. And it's like, I understand why. It's because money is the only thing that matters. The driver is a vehicle for the vehicle. We're not a living person. It's not, we're part of an algorithm, you know, we're part of a machine. And I can't even be mad about it, because that is the nature of this business. So they need that truck to be moving. I am unit number XYZ. I am not Jana, you know. So when that happened, I was like, fuck, that sucks. Like, it was hard to get a truck in the first place. There could be a wait. I could end up with an old International that's in the shop all the time. Like, no, I don't want to take that risk. It was like a risk just to think about going to see my mom in the hospital when she really needed me. These are the kind of things that happen when you do this line of work. So anyway, I'm talking too much. My hands are frozen, and I'm about to do some breathing exercises and get my body in this nice cold lake, and it's gonna feel fucking amazing. Yes. Good morning. I'm sitting at a shipper getting loaded right now, and it's kind of a weird one. It's one of those ones where you have to disconnect from the trailer and go park somewhere else, and I'm assuming that they're gonna call or come and knock on the door when the loading is done, hopefully, because I kind of want to lay down for a little bit. But I just wanted to share that I just got another message about the training videos. And the last time, I'm laughing about it after what I said in my last video about training videos. The last time I got a message about those, I was at another like load or unload where I was sitting, and so I messaged my fleet manager and I was like, hey, which videos do I need to complete? And she emailed me. She's like, I'll email you. And she sent me something in the email, so I went on their website to try to complete those videos, and the ones that like some of the ones she had listed I had already completed, or they weren't due until like the end of the year, so they weren't accessible yet. And then I just got a message saying that they will take away no accident pay. So apparently a portion of our pay is based on like not having been in any accidents. They threaten to take that away if you don't complete these videos. I told you they fucking harangue you. And I'm just like, wow, you guys, wow. Gotta be making sure that you're covering your asses at every turn. It's just like another little drop in the bucket that is making me go, you gotta quit. You gotta get the fuck out of this place, because this shit is so, it's like the things that they prioritize energy on are not really helping you. Like, those videos are useful, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't want to ever watch them, although the thing is, you're watching them and you don't get paid to do that because it's when you're loading or unloading, or you have to do it in your personal time. So you're doing something for them to remain compliant with their insurance and save them money on their insurance on your own time. So you're paying them, essentially. They're not paying you to do something that is required as part of the job. One of the many ways in trucking that there is labor performed by the driver that is unpaid. So someone commented on one of my videos and said that they have prospective drivers watch my videos for the real deal on what trucking is like. And I love that comment. And I was like, that's cool, because that's what I want to do, is, you know, just let people see on the ground like what kind of things really go on. And it's none of what I say is like a secret. It's just one person's, you know, here's the day-to-day ways in which they do these fucking things. So there's the latest in today's fuckery, people. Yeah, good times. So this is what I'm doing right now. I was just at one of these garbage dumps, and this is what the forklift operator left in this trailer. This forklift operator took a fucking eternity to empty out this trailer. I was here for like 90 minutes. Shouldn't have taken that long. It's a bunch of bales of recycled crap. And then leaves that shit in there, this big ass metal bar, which I hope they have a dumpster I can throw it in. I'm assuming they do. But this is the kind of fucked up shit. And I'm currently in an off-duty status on my tablet because I don't get paid for any of this time. This is work that I do. This is unpaid labor that I'm doing. And I don't know why I'm acting so incredulous, because this is what every fucking trucker has to deal with. This is the kind of shit we got to deal with. Our company doesn't pay us to clean out these trailers. It's our personal responsibility, and it's unpaid. So this is the view at the Nestle plant that I'm at right now. I filmed before from this location, and I was here like early in the morning. And the way it works here is there's a super long check-in period, and as you can see, all of these trucks that I'm in line with are waiting to check in. So I've already been sitting here for 20 minutes and I haven't moved at all. I was gonna try to back out and turn around, but it wasn't possible to do it. I wish I talked to my fleet manager when I was on my way here, and I was 45 minutes away, and I had like 3.5 hours on my clock or something like, no, I had like 4 hours on my clock at the time. And I told her, because I knew how this place was, and they know how this place is too, I was like, I'm going to run out of time, so I'm going to need to use personal conveyance to get from there to a place to stop for the night. And this is the place, you guys might remember, I came here I had to scale. You have to scale immediately after, because they do bottled water, and they always load people overweight. And I was legal within 20 pounds, I think, or something, after I adjusted my tandems. So I am at 3 hours now, and it'll probably be another hour before I can even check in. And then when I was here before, it was like empty here, and it took them 2 hours to load me. I was one of 2 drivers getting loaded because it was first thing in the morning. So there's no way I'm gonna get out of here. So they just changed the appointment to early in the morning, and they said go ahead and park, but now I have to sit here in this check-in line because the only way out is to go through it. So I'm going to be sitting here for like an hour. I've already spent 4 hours at loads and unloads today, not getting paid, just sitting. It's been a really rough stretch, guys, and I'm like trying not to cry because I'm really tired and I'm really upset. But this is what trucking is about. This is how it is for a lot of us out here. And when you're a company driver and you're getting paid mileage pay, and it's low mileage pay because you're in your first year of driving, that's why people don't make it a year in trucking, is because this stuff is so like psychically punishing when you're going through all this stress, and then you get that paycheck and it's so small and your day is 14 hours long. It's like, it's just it's punishing is the best word to describe it. So I'm gonna make myself some dinner, reheat some food. I'm just gonna sit and eat, and I'm gonna try my best to make the most of this time that I'm just gonna be stuck sitting here, because it's time that I'm alive one way or the other, and I have to choose how I frame it. And I'm trying not to cry because I'm so fatigued from this shit, but that's where you have to like dig deep. You have to, because this shit will fucking wear you down, dude. I'm a strong person, but it gets to me sometimes, and I'm partly just sleep deprived, so I'm just tired. And This rainy weather makes me want to take a nap. I wish I could have gotten in a door and just did what I did at the last unload and just lay there, and I had to open my eyes every few minutes to look at the light to see if it was red or green. But I sort of like half fell asleep for a few minutes at a time, and it felt really good. So digging deep is what it's about. Okay, guys, I'm eating some food and I'm getting over myself. I told you I hate when people eat on camera, and here I am doing it. I'm over it, though. I'm like, do what I want. Okay, so I said this is a Nestle plant. Fuck Nestle.
Which result would you like?
No, that's the Garmin. Stop listening to me. I don't have anything to tell you. Let's talk about Nestle. You want to know one of the fucking evil things Nestle's done? It's a very evil company, like commodifying water and selling it back to people like their own water. Water shouldn't be something that we bottle in plastic and sell to each other. It's just fucking gross. But anyway, I wish I could tell you what book I read this in. It's been a really long time. This is something I read in the early aughts. They did this campaign in African countries or in one African region where they convinced mothers to stop breastfeeding their infants and instead give them formula, and babies actually died of malnourishment. That's the kind of shit Nestle does for money. That's the kind of shit that company has done. So if I never ever do anything ever again for a Nestle, distributor, I would feel great about it, because I just feel gross being in the presence of this company. Of course, I buy their products. I'm sure I do, because it's very difficult to avoid. And with one of the earlier distributors I was at was a craft company, and there was a person in the driver comments that was like, I don't buy any craft products, da 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 da. It's like, yeah, you don't think you do maybe, but like those companies are so insidious that they're in products that you don't even know. Like, Nestle is in everything. Kraft is in everything. I'm trying to get out of here now, and I'm just sitting here. I reheated some food. It's pretty good. It's making me feel less murderous. And I'm basically just going to chill here. My clock is probably going to run out even while I'm just sitting here not getting loaded. And I have to come back to this motherfucker in the morning. And fuck all that so very much is what I have to say about it. This place is a goddamn shit show. Like, look at this shit. This is what we're working with. This is the line. And it's just chaos. There's no organization. This is everyone waiting to check in to get loaded. And when you get in the office, they don't treat you like a person. They won't like look at you. They'll ignore you for like 5 full minutes, and then they'll talk to you. Everything about this place is a bummer, and I wish I wasn't here, but this is where I am. And that's probably, the moral of the story is, if you're a company driver, you have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. You just have no choice, but you have to do it. So that's where you got to get your experience at a company if that's what you want to do, and then find a way to get away from it so you don't have micromanagement, babysitting, fucking forced routing, forced fueling, and being sent to places that if you had your own control over things, you would never go to a place like this. Like, I don't care how much these loads pay. Fuck this shit.